Guys, well, today we are with Shirley, and I had the pleasure of meeting Shirley for the first time at Menottes in Culver City through Brandon. You know, she came in as a guest, ordered her drink, and then for some random reason, she started handing out stickers, and I was like, "What is that? You know, who's this person?"
Who does she think she is?
Yeah, and then the first thing Brandon said, "Yeah, you haven't seen my water bottle," and I was like, "No." And then he
Yo,
shows
that
it to
is
me.
what happened, huh?
Yeah, and then he shows it to me, and then I see your face on that sticker, and I was like, "Yeah, that looks like you." You know,
I mean, chances are, if you go to Monotti's, you've definitely seen my magnet on the.
it is the cold brew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it definitely, and I think I saw it before, and I just didn't realize who it was or what it was. You know, and so then
I don't go as often as I would like to. I mean, I'm too busy saving the world. I'm just kidding. Just charging $20 a plate at a time.
yeah,
But yeah, man, Monotti's has just been super welcoming, and it's a dope little situation. So I'm like blocks away from it, so super convenient on my days off.
yeah, amazing. And how did the stickers come upon, or how does you carry your stickers?
So I've always had this hairstyle, right? The bun. My family likes to call it the croissant because of how it's shaped. It's not your typical like messy bun and whatever the trend is nowadays. So I just, that's all I wear on my head. So there's a bunch of times where I was just like, oh, I was wondering if it was you, and the only way I was able to notice it was because of your bun and your glasses, and I was just like, yeah, that's me.
El
It's my signature
chongo.
look. El chongo,
El chongo.
exactly. So just I want to say maybe like 2-3 years ago, I had a customer. I don't know how I even came up with this dumb idea, but I was just like, yo, can you draw me or nah? And he was like, challenge accepted. And he nailed it. And
Yeah, it looks great.
here we are.
Dude, I mean, it's amazing. It's an amazing sticker. But I'm just so happy the fact that coffee brought us together too. You know, it's just a simple beverage that
El
introduced us.
cafecito, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of chismes and stuff goes on when you have that little
Exactly.
that
You know,
little
it's like
little brown thing.
like back in Mexico when grandma, mom, and la vecina and stuff used to get together.
Yeah,
They
chismear.
brew up a pot of coffee.
Exactly. Actually, I had my first cup of coffee in Mexico, and it was in Guadalajara. It was at my grandma's friend's house. She took us. Her name was Doña Luz, and she took us, and they're chismeando, blah blah blah. And then I was pretty small, but I was just like, oh, yo quiero, and she made me one with like a gang of sugar and cream, and I was like, wow.
But
it was café de olla.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, Guadalajara, that's what they're known for. And man, the rest is history.
Dude, but I feel like in
Mexico.
Mexico, I feel like that's how they always make their coffee, right? Because even now, when I visit family and stuff, they will brew a big pot of coffee, and it comes out already like sweetened with milk and cinnamon, you know. But it's like you don't even taste coffee. It's just like a sweet drink.
Yeah,
You know?
like give me all that sugar, terrible things for you stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which takes me back to your favorite drink at Menotti's, which is the
Spanish latte. I know,
you
I'm very guilty of really
but
liking that.
But I feel like it's because it really takes you back to those memories.
Yeah,
back in
100%.
Mexico, you know?
100%. And I think Menotti has really nailed the Spanish latte.
Yeah.
It's just so good. I've had it elsewhere and it's just not the same. I just keep going and I'm like,
yeah,
stick to what you know,
there's
girl.
something special that takes you back to that, you know, to down memory lane too when you first had that coffee.
Oh, for sure. 100%. Yeah. It's like the best memory I have with my grandma, and I'm so thankful she introduced me to it.
Amazing. So what family's from Guadalajara? Is that where you were?
No, so I was born in Mazatlan, Sinaloa. My family is from Sinaloa, so that's my husband's family though is from Jalisco. So
nice.
Yeah, they're big on coffee.
But you're saying you were born in Sinaloa?
Yes.
So you were not. How did you get to the country, to the States?
just like the rest of the immigrants did.
I mean, I myself, I was born and raised in Mexico too, so it's I had to cross the border with my cousin's paperwork and stuff.
Yeah, that's
But
why. I mean, that was the thing. I forgot about that.
yeah,
With like the parents' letter and whatnot. Yeah. No. I luckily, well, I came in legally. With the family passport and things like that. So that's how I
yeah,
ended up. But then my dad passed when I was young, and then unfortunately well, not unfortunately, I shouldn't say that, but we moved back to Mexico, and we came back.
And how old were you when all this was happening?
I was 3.5 when my dad passed.
Oh, you were very young.
I was very
So all
young.
this
Yeah,
happened
yeah,
at a young age.
yeah. So I didn't really get to experience that terrible loss, like my
Yeah,
brothers did. They were all older. Um, so I'm kind of thankful for that, but the same token is just like I don't have a lot of memories with him, and that
right.
like hurts.
Yeah,
Especially being the only or the youngest and the only girl. So
yeah. I mean, I feel like that's part of a connection that you might even could have shared with your brothers too, right? Of like how dad was, or
yeah, you know what? Unfortunately, they were vagos, dude. They were all over the place. They didn't want to deal with a little sister.
got it.
At the time. They're just like, climbing on trees. My one of my brothers almost got his finger sawed off. It's crazy. Like they were such troublemakers.
A lot of things
It's
like that
insane.
happen in Mexico, and the
I,
thing is, yeah, like you said, growing up, and obviously mom probably had to work or provide for the family.
yeah, yeah.
So then keeping busy with that is like kids have a little more freedom to enjoy their life and get in
100%.
trouble.
Yeah, I mean, luckily I was the calm one. Well, I still am in the family. So when we lived in Mexico, my mom rented a 2-story house, and we were literally right next to a tree, or a tree was in front of the house. And that's where my brothers used to climb down to go play with the vecinos and like play canicas and like all these and tazos and all
A
these like
trompo,
yeah, like all these crazy hide and seek and making out with young little girls. It was like all bad. And they would leave me behind. I was just, I was too busy watching Tom and Jerry, Scooby Doo, and those cartoons back in the day.
So you said you guys went back to Mexico and then eventually returned to the United States. How
Yeah.
old were you when that happened? And were
I
you
was
attending school
in
and
I was
everything?
in second grade.
You were in second grade?
I went to Short Ave. I did not know a lick of English. Nothing.
Yeah.
And my second grade teacher, who I'm so thankful for because she really had a lot of patience for me, and Miss Abel was her name. Yeah, man, she taught me as much as she could at the time, but I didn't speak like nothing.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing because at that time it was like you don't realize until you're older how kids are actually like bullied. Like I was bullied when I was younger because I didn't speak English.
I can really relate to that, right? Because my experience moving out here when I was 11 years old, it was the similar experience. Going to what was Grambio, which I only went for 2 months, and then attending there, I did not know a word of English. The first phrase I learned to say was, "I don't speak English," you know, and I didn't have any ESL classes or anything. So yeah, it was challenging, and like all I did was all I wanted was to go back to Mexico, and my sister along with me, she's like, "Let's go, let's go back." But my whole family was here, so I understand how tough that was, especially being a what is it? You were probably like 5 years old, 6 years old.
Around there, yeah, maybe
Yeah,
like 7 or something.
yeah,
I don't know how
I'm
this
pretty
works
sure.
anymore. Once you're out, you're like, that's it. There's no looking back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was a young cat, and I mean, it sounds like we've gone through the same struggle
Yeah.
from when we were young.
And how's your experience? Switching grades and stuff, moving up to middle school and high school? How was that?
It was cool. It was hard to because when you know two languages, well, once you start learning the second language, of course, you think different, right?
Yeah.
Your mind is just like working, I want to say maybe twice as hard to, especially when you had just learned the second language. Um so it was a little tough, but again, it made me the person that I am now, cuz I was just like I didn't give up, and I was just like, "Nah,
Yeah.
I'm going to go after it.
Exactly.
I'm going to like kill it." You know what I mean? So I did okay. School was definitely not for me though. It was not for me. It's not my jam. Unfortunately, I wish it was, but
Were you able to graduate at least?
no.
No,
Mm-mm.
didn't graduate.
No, I did not.
How far did you get though?
The last grade. But there was a lot at 12th grade. I was 12th grade.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of issues going on in my last year, for sure. So I couldn't focus. I couldn't. One of the teachers actually screwed me over, and I could have graduated, but he took my credits away and things like that. And I was just like, I'm done. Like, there's no way I'm gonna
Yeah.
repeat second or
And
12th grade.
most of these problems, you think? I mean, being personal and stuff, or having problems at home, affected your concentration in school,
Oh,
or
for sure. Yeah,
yeah.
100%. Not only that, but then dyslexia. I have dyslexia.
I think we all do. I feel like I have a good
I,
portion of dyslexia.
I was like, "Yo, teacher, wasn't the 3 in front of the 7 at some point?" And they're like, "Something ain't right, girl."
Yeah, no, I have that same problem, and likewise with English, my vocabulary. I feel like I'm still working on my vocabulary.
Yo, same. Every day, I like find out a new word every day. I'm just like,
Yeah.
"Wait, what?"
So I mean, me being with my wife, I mean, she's very helpful. She always corrects me. Which, growing up and being in school, I always pronounce words the wrong way. But the one thing I sort of like pushed for myself was asking people, well, how do you say it? And then they will correct me or
Really?
tell me how it sounded,
Dude,
and then I
I
will
was
try
so
to replicate
embarrassed.
that.
I was so embarrassed I couldn't do it.
But I feel like I have a lot of friends who felt the same way, right? Like you did. They felt embarrassed, and a lot of those people that I went to school with, because they felt that way, they never broke out of that shell and like felt comfortable enough to speak the language.
Right.
For me, just saying like, okay, we'll say it, and I want to hear how you say it and how it sounds, and I'm gonna try to say it that way. And to this date, like, there's a lot of words. Like if you ever sit down with my wife, she will tell you all the words. I have friends who make fun of.
Is
Some
there
words that I
one
say.
word that you remember that you struggled with? I have one.
In specific? No, I don't
Really?
remember really.
So when I started working here back in, I think 2012, I think, that's when I went into the coffee industry, and I could not say cappuccino to save my life.
How would
I'd
you
be
say
like,
it?
"Yo, can I get a cap?"
But I mean, that's short for cappuccino.
I know, but like I would struggle with that, and then salmon. Those 2 words, I had to.
Yeah.
Bro, it's
I've
such
had
a
a hard
struggle.
time saying salmon.
I was like, "What do you mean that? Oh, this is not salmon. Like,
Exactly.
que no se dice salmon? What
Yeah,
you mean
yeah,
salmon? Like,
exactly.
there's an L there, fam."
Yeah. And even sometimes the pronunciation of some words, right? Like I remember hanging out with friends and my wife, and the single word of what we see in the restaurants all the time, where it says, in each room you have this with this what do you call it? This sign that says max occupancy, right?
Oh yeah.
Dude, and for some reason,
Yo, your wife
for
is
some
laughing.
reason that word alone, like when I said it the first time in front of them, it's like they just busted out laughing. It's like, what are you saying? Or my V's are like, I guess I don't pronounce them right. Like the B versus V.
Like
It's
what
so
though?
weird. What's the one word? I don't remember what it was, but in my brain doesn't capture that. It's just like, I don't know.
Is it probably because you're probably thinking like, "Oh, vamos a ir a vacation." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, simple things like
There's
that.
no
So,
say, "Oh, I'm going on a vacay." Like
yeah.
that don't even sound right. "Oh, vamos a ir de vacations."
Well, I mean, in Spanish they always say "nos vamos de vaca," you know. So
Yeah.
it's like all that slang. Yeah, but going back to high school, I mean, you say you're having a really rough time.
Yeah, there was a lot going on in my life that I had to fight through. And I didn't realize how bad it affected me until after I came out and said it out loud what was going on.
Yeah,
So, after I did that, uh, so I was supposed to graduate in 2007, and I didn't. I just like was trying to figure it out, I guess, and didn't say anything until 2012, and I was just like, "Yo, this is what's wrong. I
yeah,
figured it out," you know. So I
that's
don't know. There was
crazy.
a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
mean,
challenges.
that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, first of all, class of '07 here. You know.
A year of 88.
Yeah,
Year 88? Or
I'm
no?
89 actually.
Oh, loser.
Are you 88?
I'm 88.
My wife is too. So you old ass. You're old.
Damn. I'm 31. I'm still young.
When's your birthday? Because you're turning.
December 29th.
Oh, there you go. See,
Capricorn.
Leo's here. We both Leo's actually.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah. So
Strong
two
attitude.
two lions in a cage. You know,
No.
under the same roof.
No. Mm-mm.
It had its challenges, but it's so much better now. You know.
That's good. I mean, you have to fight
a
through
little
it.
more. We're a little more docile now.
Who
but,
won? Who really won the fight? I mean, that's a dumb question. We all know.
You know who did.
We know the
You know
wife
who
he did. Happy wife, happy life, they say.
Exactly. You know, that's the main goal. That's the only purpose to it.
I mean,
yeah.
that's what my husband tells me all the time. So
Yeah.
shout out to the homie Paco.
Homie Paco. There you go. And I hope you're listening, Paco. You
Probably
know,
not.
like, share, and subscribe, bro.
Don't forget. Support.
So obviously not walking stage and stuff and having friends that probably did. I mean, how did that make you feel?
Like shit.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
I mean,
It was really bad. I was really scared because I was like, whoa, I'm not gonna go anywhere in life, and like, what am I gonna do? Like, I'm a failure. You know, I was so close and things like that, and you know, it was embarrassing. It was so embarrassing. Like, I hated talking about it.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, you know what? It is what it is. I didn't do it.
Yeah, no, I mean, things do happen for a reason at times, you know? I mean, do you really regret not graduating? Because, I mean, you have accomplished a lot in your life without that high school diploma.
Right. It didn't stop me from achieving my goals.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm good. I'm good.
And being back in high school, what was some of the dreams or goals you had at that time?
You know, it was to play ball. It was so dumb. I was like so young and dumb.
You want to be a superstar and play basketball, and
basketball was life.
Yeah.
At the time.
Favorite
I mean,
sport.
you can't tell right now because I'm married, so you gain weight.
Just enjoying life.
Don't get married.
You know, that's all it is.
Don't do it. It's not worth it.
It's the best thing ever. Just do it. You know, you get to enjoy food at another level. You know, without anybody judging you.
So you think,
bro?
But are like, you know what I mean?
What?
Like deep. I feel like y'all be judging.
Maybe.
So
good. Being a basketball player was the dream.
Yeah, man. Like that's when, you know, Kobe was on his prime. Allen Iverson, were the two that I like idolized. That they were like my heroes. I was like, wow. And of course, Leslie.
Who's that?
Cool. Sparks. LA Sparks.
Dope. Nice.
She was good. She was good. So yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
What did Career Center tell you when you were in high school and you were telling them,
they're like,
I want to be a basketball player?
They're like, that's a joke. Like, open your ojos, mija.
Yeah.
Type of thing. But you know, there was that, and then I was in choir, so like I almost even wanted to be a singer. I don't know, I was all over the place. I just didn't know who I was, you know?
Yeah.
And
I mean, I don't think every teenager ever really knows what they want in life, right?
Nah, but I feel like they have a very, very strong passion, and they like go after it. You know what I mean?
But even for some of those kids, they always make it to college. You know, they get all the grants and everything. They go to their desired college. But even being there, then they sort of switch careers or change their minds or don't even
That's
finish
true.
it.
That's
You
true.
know,
I did
so
have a lot of friends that did that actually.
yeah,
Who was just like, oh, I want to go do art or something, and then like the next thing you know, they want to be a doctor, and you're like, what, bro?
yeah. And for me personally, you know, when that time came of like, okay, we're thinking of graduation, we're thinking about what college you're gonna go to. For me personally, being an immigrant at that time in 2006, 2007. I was sort of getting excited because you know everybody was talking about it. Everybody was trying to apply for FAFSA, trying to apply for all these grants, loans, and stuff. I didn't know anyone surrounding me, you know, doing that stuff. So I had no clue. And then I started asking, but FAFSA required your parents' social security number and stuff. My family doesn't have. So I felt very limited with all the help I could have achieved.
Yo, same. I
You
mean,
know,
not that because I obviously I didn't apply for any of that, but I think the last year of high school for me, I truly found out what being an immigrant was,
yeah,
and you know what I mean. Because then at that time it's just like, oh, senior trip, and like, oh, we're all gonna go to Hawaii and blah blah blah, and I'm like, oh, sick, I want to go. And then I go home and I'd be like, mommy, 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 todos los estudiantes van a ir a Hawaii. Like, yo quiero ir.
yeah.
And she'd be
It's just like, I mean, what can she
like,
tell you? You
what do
know,
you,
like how are
yeah,
you gonna
dude.
go?
It
You know,
was
it's
like
just
so heartbreaking. I was just like, what you mean I can't go? She's like, pues, no puedes ir. ¿Cómo? And I was like,
yeah,
I'm like, what? And I would imagine like being that you're older and not knowing that the real struggle of being an immigrant at that
yeah.
point. And you know what I'm saying? It's just like, whoa, what the heck?
Well, like I
Uh,
said, you know, now I think about it too. Now that I'm working and paying bills, making my own income, it's very challenging to think about it back then when like they used to go to the market and buy food for 2 weeks. You know, you go today, you go to the market and you buy food and you pay with your own money and it's like $100, $200
you're
and you're
like,
like, and that's to feed two people, you know? That's crazy.
you're like, how?
Yeah.
Yo, I know that I feel you on that so much because like it's true. Like how our parents did it, bro, when we were younger is just like it's such a beautiful thing and you truly do think about like, yo, they busted their asses for us.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, and
I
it's just not one child, there's two, no, there's like
there's
500 of us just like
yeah, my family there's four of us, you know, so I'm being me being the oldest. I feel like now I recognize everything they did for us, but even then, like I remember when I was asking for an iPod, which was at that time $300,
yeah, and you're like,
which
why can't you get it for me?
exactly,
Like
you
you're
know,
such a
and
brat.
it's like, and my dad never really said like or gave me a reason why he can't give it to me, but it was sort of like, yeah, we know we'll try to get it for you and stuff. And to the day where he finally took me and bought me my first MP3 player, and
Mhm.
then eventually bought me an iPod, right?
iPod, yeah. Yeah,
But yeah, but yeah, think about it now when like you go out and you want to treat yourself and buy yourself a gadget, an Apple Watch or an iPhone. You think about it and it's like it hurts, you know, it hurts to pay that out of pocket. So imagine now your dad
you
doing
know,
this for
to
you.
me, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but to me, and I mentioned this earlier to your wife, is like we're busting our asses, so treat yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that my husband and I have always bumped heads in because for me, I'm down to spend. Like, I'm so embarrassed. Well, I'm not embarrassed. I have a lot of shoes that I don't even wear, still in
Yeah.
boxes, super clean. You know what I'm saying? And he used to give me a hard time. It's like, why do you buy so many pairs of shoes you don't even wear? And I'm just like, because I can. I didn't have the luxury when I was younger to ask my mom, or actually, you know what? I would ask her, and eventually she'll like try her absolute best to get them for me. But like that was a challenge, you
Yeah.
know.
I mean, now we buy,
But now
you
I'm just
know,
like,
now we buy Nikes. We go to Foot Locker. We go to stuff. Growing up, we used to go to warehouse shoe sale, bro, and like that was fancy, you know. Other than that, it was Payless. You know, before that, I remember wearing Payless a lot.
Facts.
Yeah.
And then your feet will smell. And then you get judged for that.
Exactly.
And then your parents will yell at you
Yeah.
because of it. And it's like, you bought me these pairs of shoes, fam.
For me, Filas, bro. Filas were the jam then.
Oh, life.
Yeah. Yeah. It was Filas with, you know, the pattern sole that had like spikes and
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, it's crazy they even made a comeback. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah. Dude.
Did you get you a pair?
No. Not allowed to wear Filas.
Why?
I don't know. They're not trendy, I guess. Yeah, that's true.
So he has a pair.
I have
He's
a
just
pair.
out here lying
Yeah.
to the fans.
Right. Edit, cut, boom. No one's gonna listen to this.
Delete,
Yeah,
delete.
dude, but talking about, you know, getting all these grants and stuff and money for, you know, like senior trips and stuff. I felt defeated, you know, I felt like failure because I was like, man, like what am I gonna do with school? You know, so the mentality was okay, work, save money, and then go back to school, which never happened for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so for you, I mean, obviously not walking stage and stuff. How did you take that? And what was the next step after that? What did you do after
I mean,
that?
it was hard, but I was working. I was working my senior year, and I somehow have always been really good with money. So I like got myself a car and things like that, and I was like making payments, paying my own insurance and things like that. So I've always been a go-getter. But there were times I was just like, man, this is so hard. You know what I mean? Like, I remember when I got my first official job, they asked me for your social security number, which I do have. But on the bottom it says not for employment. So I was really scared that they were gonna like turn me away and like embarrassed because you're just like, you know, what if they tell someone or something, you know what I mean? But luckily, they kept me on and I was there for a couple of years. This was in Arizona. My first job was Makudu's Island, which is like this cool like indoor playground area, and it had like a cafeteria. It had chicken nuggets, pizza, slushies, and all this cool thing. So I was there for a couple of years, and I think I know that's where I got my customer service from. From there, I got a job at Journeys
The
Kids.
shoe place?
Yeah, and I became an assistant manager like within the week of starting. And that's where I learned how to hustle. And I was just
Move
like,
up the ladder pretty fast, huh?
yeah.
I feel like that's what it takes right now, right? Because for me, the simple fact of like doing phone interviews or interviewing in person, like I said, with English being a barrier or a second language for me, it was always hard to really express myself verbally.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to doing the job, like I was physically always capable and always, you know, did above and beyond.
Yeah, which is not usually the case now. There's a lot of blah, blah, blah and not enough action.
Yeah.
You know, me, myself, being the GM of Blueys, I've experienced it. I've seen it. And I'm just like, the work ethic is just so different in some people, you know?
Very
like,
different.
But you can tell, well, at least I can tell when someone's like bullshitting and because they be sweet talking you, bro.
A lot.
You know, I'm like, I'm on to you.
Yeah.
I'm on to you, young kid.
That's one thing I personally hate sometimes when I see, you know, new employees coming in. It's like, man, you can really talk, you know, like you can really.
Yeah, but you can't do shit.
Exactly.
It's like the struggle is real.
So you mentioned having your first job in Arizona. Is that where you originally moved to when you came from LA?
No,
from Mexico?
No, we moved here.
To LA?
Yeah, grew up here. And then my brothers were getting into trouble and things like that. They went to Venice High. And they were doing the most, those fools. So my mom was like, nah, we need out. So we moved to Arizona. And it's probably the best thing they could have done for me anyway. Because at that time, it was like when gangs were hot and things like that. So moved out there when I was in 6th grade.
Nice.
Yeah. So, it was cool. Not for me. I wouldn't go back, to be honest.
So when you moved out back here to LA, did you move out here by yourself or did you bring the whole family?
Well, my brother moved out here first on my 21st birthday. I remember because we got super drunk for my birthday, and then literally that morning drove over here. So we're like hungover. It was such a bad mood. It was so stupid. Now thinking about it. So he moved out here first, I believe in 2010, and then or 11, one of those, and then I followed. And I moved out here either 2011 or 12. I can't remember. One of those.
Definitely 2012 when you drove out here with your modern Beetle.
I didn't have that bad boy yet.
No?
Nah. I bought that in 2016.
No, but didn't you have like a silver?
Oh, I did.
Volkswagen?
Oh, okay. Yes, I did. You're right. Dude, I don't know how I even made it, to be honest. That shit was so sketchy. Like, I'd be like, like making all these weird noises. Like, thank you, baby Jesus, for letting me live.
So you drive that car all the way from Arizona?
Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. My friend Stacy actually helped me move over here. It was the 13th of July. Yeah. That was cool. And then here we
So
are.
all this time working and stuff after high school, did you ever think about going back to college or finishing, getting your GED or anything? No?
Mm-mm.
Never made that decision?
No. I just knew from the jump that it just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I was embarrassed by it. Don't get me wrong. I was disappointed in myself, but I had to be honest too, you know? And it wasn't for me.
And then once you landed in LA, I mean, what would be your first job back in LA?
In LA, it was a calling center. It was a non-fat. Oh my God, I'm thinking about coffee. Non-fat cappuccino. With salmon on top.
With salmon? Salmon.
Con salmon on top.
Salmon.
Qué vergüenza.
Right?
Salmon. Say the L, bitches.
Right? Dude,
salmon?
I think, yeah.
Wait,
have
do
to
you
pronounce.
say the L? Now I'm confused. Do you say
You
the L?
don't say the
No, right? No, right?
No, you don't say the L. English
that is
is just so complicated, you know? It's like there's so many silent letters in there.
No, I just recently started watching novelas. Like, this is our thing at home right now.
Yeah.
Don't make fun of me.
Actual Mexican novelas?
Yeah, fam. Like, because, like, everyone speaks English, so you forget words almost. Like, I'll have the boss lady sometimes be like, how do you say apple? And then it takes me, I'm like,
Better.
ding, 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 ding. I'm like, manzana. And she'd be like, that took you a long time to figure out. It's embarrassing. I was like, damn, you're right. So now I just stay watching novelas. It's great. Like the drama.
The drama in Mexican novelas is next level, bro. It's next level.
I swear to God, I'm going to record ourselves like watching it one of these days because it gets crazy.
Yeah. Me, I definitely grew up with watching novelas too, Mexico. But, you know, just the drama in there is just next level, bro. Yeah.
What was the meme that was going on for a while where it was like, oh, crying in Spanish or laughing in Spanish?
No, I didn't see that.
dramatic. You didn't see it?
No.
Did you get to see it? And it would be like a picture of one of the main actresses, which I forgot her name, but with the short hair, you know what I'm talking about? She had like short hair. And she'd be like all dramatic in a picture or whatever, and it'd be like crying in Spanish, and she'd be like, it was hilarious.
Now, one of the most memorable,
I was like, same.
One of the most memorable novelas for me was Rosalinda, bro. I don't know if you know about it.
Is it the tall, skinny person?
It was with Talia.
Oh, yes, I do.
Well, that was like.
But for me, I think what really caught me was
Rebelde, probably.
No, absolutely not. No, not like that. I wasn't like obsessed with it, but Ruby.
Ruby? I never watched that one.
Oh, Luz Clarita. That was a jam for sure. That was good. That was really good. But for me, Ruby was like, whoa, like the drama.
Yeah.
Like, what you mean she's in love with that other guy, but she's only with him because of the money, and it was just all bad. I was like,
That was like Usurpadora for me.
oh, that one was really
Yeah.
good.
That was good.
That one was really good. Novelas is just where it's at. You learn a lot about life.
No, we're going back to like what you said with the English language, or like translating something, right? I am 100% fluent in Spanish, but because in my household, which is my wife and I, we mostly communicate in English. There are certain moments where, yeah, when I'm trying to translate a word, I forget about it. You know, like it's like, what was it? And it's like I'm fluent in Spanish and I know what it is. But why can't I tell you right now?
And you forget?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's why I don't like that feeling at
I don't
all.
like it either. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be a thing at our house that we would at least try to speak Spanish once a week, like full on, just no English whatsoever.
Yeah.
But my husband was born here, and when I first met him, he didn't really speak Spanish. He was like embarrassed almost. And then, your girl from Sinaloa over here saying all kinds of bad words. He picked it up real quick.
Nice.
So his Spanish is better, and we're trying to work on it, but it is hard. It's
Amazing. But I know you went through a lot growing up, you know, losing a father and moving from place to place. To recently, what caught my attention is this little clip that you posted on social media, which is Tough as a Mujer, you know?
yeah.
So, I mean, listening to everything we've been discussing is that where like the title comes from, or how did you come up with that, or what is this exactly?
Well, it was an idea from Bueno Roasters, which is the coffee that brand that we carry at Blueys. And they recently uh started working with these ladies from Honduras, and they wanted to focus on that, which I think is so dope because
Yeah.
so literally, if you grab your GoPro, you'll see the bags over there. Um, yeah, the farmers are females, so they wanted to really showcase that.
Yeah, no, as it is.
And they picked. I was like the first one.
You're the first one?
Yeah,
Nice.
but they're interviewing other mujeres, which
Yeah.
is really really dope. I love the concept of that.
Well, farming alone is just such a tough thing to do, you know?
Yeah,
So-
well, I mean, because husbands leave, they come to the U.S. for a better life and try to provide for the families, and what do the women do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They get left behind, and so this place, it's all female, and it's beautiful. I think it's so dope, and so we try to support as much as possible. So we definitely carry the Honduras blend at Blueys.
Nice. But what does this really represent for you? The whole Tough as a Mujer, you know?
Well, coffee.
For you personally, you know,
For
like
me-
from your experiences in life and everything, what does it really represent for you?
It's rough. I think I think now it's we're more vocal about it, and I think us women feel a little bit more empowered, and I think that we are finally all, well, I shouldn't say all because people are still struggling with the idea of women being in power, I guess. So to me, being a woman and being in the position that I am now, being in charge of a restaurant and having the control and them trusting me in it, it was just like I never thought I'd be here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a dictator. Don't get me wrong here. I'm like,
There's the
sounding
whole
like-
thing of like what the phrase that they used to use years ago, right? Where it says, where they used to say women belong in kitchen, you know, like
Yeah, but
they,
like we
they
don't.
used to believe that a woman served a purpose, and that was to take care of the male figure because they were the ones providing for the families.
Right.
You know?
I mean, that changed
That has changed.
completely.
Yeah.
There's no.
And I mean, for me, seeing it in my family, you know, like everything my mom went through, you know, whether it was with her relationship with my dad or working those late hours to provide for us or not being able to buy something for her so that we can have some, you know.
It's crazy. The sacrifices that they.
So yeah, and so like seeing that for me, it's just when I read the title of Tough as Someone Had, like I that's the first person I thought of, you know, it was my mother because she has because I'm the oldest, I've seen and witnessed a lot of things that they sacrifice,
Right.
you know, and specifically her,
Yeah.
you know.
I don't think I understood that growing up. How how amazing our moms are.
Yeah.
You know, like my mom being a single parent, and she like literally did everything in her power to provide for the family. And yeah, man, it's
Yeah.
so it's amazing. There's nothing like them.
Yeah. And so for current events, you keep mentioning Blueys. Blueys is the restaurant you're currently working for or the company you're working for?
Yes, Bluey's Kitchen in Santa Monica.
What is Blueys all about? Or
I mean, we have amazing food, coffee, a dope ass community. The environment is just super cool, super casual, nothing serious. If you want to, some good food, you come to Bluey's.
nice. And how long have you been with this company?
Since day one, can't get rid of me.
Say one. How did that go?
So it used to be this place called Tada. And the owner at the time sold it to Dave and Sabrina, and who are the owners of Bluey's. And I was so scared because I was like, shoot, new ownership, they're gonna change the whole situation. Like, what does that mean for me?
Yes.
Like, am I gonna have to go and like struggle once again, try to find a job as an immigrant? And I told them since the moment I met them, I was like, yo, this is my situation. Let me know if this is gonna work or not. And they're like, hell yeah, like this is gonna work. 100%. And
so before they took over this business, which now it's called Blueys, you been here when it was called Tada?
yeah, so I was here before they took over. And then there was this couple of, I think it was for like a week or two. Sabrina was shadowing me. And so, back to the community, I had a lot of regulars. And they'd be like, whoa, who's this? Like, who's this person? So she'll be like, oh, hey, I'm Sabrina. We're taking over and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, but wait, you're not getting rid of Shirley, are you? And that was like, it was a nonstop. It was like, but Shirley is staying, right? But Shirley. It was like a lot of that. And I was just like, wow.
How much did you really pay these people to say this?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Coffee here, cappuccino there.
Yeah. Be like, yo, get it while you can. Yeah, I'm broke because of them, actually. So shout out to all those people that made me look good.
You still got a job.
Yeah, for real. I'm still paying those fools. So yeah, so she was shadowing me, and that was like the nonstop situation. I was just like, whoa. And that's when I really felt loved. And I was just like, wow, like these people truly care for me. It's amazing. I'm like, this is so sick. And so Dave and Serena, they kept me around. And eventually I moved up the ladder, and they're like, okay, you're a manager. And I was like, oh my God, so wow, this is so cool. Like, but when they took over, the type of food that we serve here, it was just like, I'm Mexican. There's no such thing as like cauliflower rice. You can sabe que, like, what is that?
All that bougie stuff.
Yeah,
Huh?
like I was like, what? What's cauliflower rice for real? And so, yeah, so she was shadowing me, and that was like the nonstop situation. I was just like, whoa. And that's when I really felt loved. And I was just like, wow, like these people truly care for me. It's amazing. I'm like, this is so sick. And so I pretended like I knew what was going on, and I think Sabrina started catching on what was really happening, and so she started like teaching me and you know introducing me to a whole new world, and she was she really took care of me, and for that I'm grateful. And so I kept moving up the ladder, and then here I am, GM, 5 years strong.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What do you think, other than those obstacles, what would be one of the biggest challenges you have faced being a GM now?
Um, Finding a good right hand man, meaning like having the right chef.
Yeah.
That I think that's one of the for sure one of the biggest challenges I've gone through. And I think now we have Martin, who's actually been here way before I was, and who started off as a dishwasher, and he's now our executive chef. And
Amazing.
you know, young immigrant as well, and it's just like what these people do for the community, especially us immigrants, like it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like I have so much respect for Dave and Sabrina. Like they're like, I mentioned that in the video. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them, for sure.
Yeah. No, but I think it always comes down also to like work ethic, right? And like you said, we were discussing earlier how there's people who are verbally good at interviews and stuff, but when it came to the actual performance or doing the duties, they have to. For some reason, that ethic is not engraved in them, and nothing gets really accomplished.
Right.
Yeah.
When you were younger, did your parents ever talk to you about that? Like, yo, mijo, when you get a job, you have to be like this, or
No, we never really did. What I did see and notice though was like my dad. Actually, what I did see and notice is not seeing my dad as often because he was always doing two jobs. Waking up early morning, coming back really late, and
did that affect you?
Didn't really affect me.
Do you think is it because you understood? You understand?
I think.
Well, now I think maybe
it's because I do understand now, and I understand what their goal was or is, which was to provide a better future for ourselves, for their kids. Like I said, my mom used to work long hours as well, so me being the oldest, I was sort of in charge of taking care of my younger siblings. My mom taught me how to make an egg, how to cook rice, how to make spaghetti from the can and stuff. And it's
your wife is like, where?
Yeah, so it's stuff that I don't do for her. I get it, I understand.
Bro, you need to show off them skills.
But so I did a lot of this stuff, right? And we're the family that grew up with Tampico and stuff like that. So that was like the luxury,
Same. And then sometimes they'll make you water it down, and we're like, no, but we want the whole sugar. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Yeah. No,
I was
Tampico.
Like, pero para que dure
shit,
más. And I was like, exactly. All right, I got you.
So I did a lot of that for my brothers, my younger siblings, and I will do the laundry, which I remember getting in trouble a couple of times because I will put the load in, go outside and play, and forget to put the soap. The thing is like, the thing is like, my mom had
Hold
this.
On, you guys had a washer?
We did not. I used to go to the laundromat with the carrito,
Nah, fam. Like in Mexico, my mom had us like.
Oh no, what I'm talking about here though. Oh. Yeah, because in Mexico, my mom will
like
do
wash.
You know
what I mean?
Bro, we didn't even have a shower.
My hands still hurt even thinking about it. I'm like,
we didn't even have a shower, bro. We used to like bañarnos a cubetazos, It's like heat up the water in the stove and stuff, Yeah, so, I mean, I come from a poor family, but like I said, I did all that, and I remember even walking my brothers to school. Because my mom will start early, 6 a.m. in the morning. My dad also. And I remember one morning I was walking my brothers, and I remember this vividly because we were walking to Grandview, and we were actually walking on Inglewood right before Washington play. And I see this patrol car going down Inglewood all I remember is telling my brothers to hide. I have no idea why. I can't remember what was the psychological thought of that, But I was scared. Like I was thinking, like they can't see us on the street. There's no adults. We're immigrants and all this stuff.
Oh,
So
dang.
I remember telling my brothers to hide, and they did hide, and I hid as well. Then patrol passes, and we get out, and then walk to school. But that was sort of like the fear I had because I didn't know. We were new to the States and stuff, and yeah, like all I knew is I needed to take care of my brothers. Which I am also the only one that graduated school. They didn't, but because I feel like they never felt that responsibility of like pushing themselves
Mm-hmm.
for everything that our parents have done for us. I mean, they're doing great. They have their own little thing, but
So were they the spoiled ones?
I will say they were the spoiled ones. Yes, because they never really saw the real struggle.
Right.
So yeah, but for me that was, and I think for me that's where the work ethic comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like I'm gonna do my hardest and my best at everything. So
Yeah, I mean, I think being the youngest and the only girl was 100% the spoiled one. Like, I'd be like, yo, ma. I mean, and again, she like busted her ass for this, but I'd be like, oh, ma, quiero una computadora.
yeah,
Y ahí va. Like months after, of course, or she'll come through for my birthday. Cause I mean, to this day, I hate my birthday because everyone's broke, everyone's out of town, ain't nobody trying to celebrate because they're trying to save it for
yeah.
New Year's
New Year's
Eve
Eve.
and things like that. So I'm
Spent all
just
their
like,
money for
I've always
Christmas.
hated it. I'm just like always bummed out and things like that. And so my mom always made sure to come through
Yeah.
for my birthday.
But like you asked me earlier, did my parents talk to me about like the work ethic? Where does your work ethic come from?
From her, for sure.
Yeah.
100%. But you don't realize these things when you're young. You know what I mean? It was after I moved back to California and like I truly became an adult. And I was just like, whoa. I was like, what you mean I gotta pay $1,000 in rent? Like how? How do I make that? You know what I mean? Like and still try to get around like with gas and insurance and oh, you have to eat.
Yeah, no. That's a harsh reality you have to
You know what I mean? But I definitely my mom never sat down with us and was like, okay, mijo, in the real world, you're gonna have to work like this because X, Y, and Z. Like that was never the case.
Yeah.
I mean, she never really had the time. She was just out there grinding, trying to figure it out herself to provide for 4 children. It was wild, and so when I became a true adult, I was just like, wow, like mad respect. Mad respect.
Well, years later, after being here at Blueys and having the right support from these new owners and stuff, I mean, how enjoyable is time here? Or how are you dealing with the time here?
I mean, it's dope. I mean, as I mentioned before, the support is there. They like truly trust me with their business, and it's such a nice feeling, like to have that kind of trust, especially when COVID is happening and we have to make sure that we're making the right decisions and that our staff is they feel okay and we're still making money and all the blah 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 blah. But I'm happy. I definitely there was a time where I was just like, yo, I want to do my own thing. And I told them that. And they're just like, we'll support you in any way. You let us know. And I was just like, that's crazy. I'm like, what? What do you mean?
I feel like they understand like your goals or dreams, right? Because they also had those same aspirations, and if they can help someone else, with everything they have learned.
Yeah, but it's crazy because usually when you're like, unfortunately, I'm not going to be here forever. They're like, well, we're sad and we definitely want you. We want to be selfish and keep you here forever because, like, you get it, your family, and things like that. And so when you hear something like that, you're just like, yo, you know what? I don't have it that bad.
Yeah, definitely not.
Like, I am living my dream, you know? Like I'm still doing my little side hustle with like the whirly merch or whatever you want to call it. Um and they even support that. They'll wear it here all the time and then people are always like, "Oh, what? The owners are wearing your stuff?" And I'm like, "Yeah, they are. They're supporting, you know what I mean?" So, I mean, it's cool. I'm just I'm glad I'm here and I just recently sat down with them um and Sabrina was like, "If you want to do your thing, I understand. I'm I'm still willing to support you." And I sat there and I like started crying
Yeah.
cuz I was like, "No, eventually, but right now, no, like I don't want to. Like I have it good here. You guys are good to me. You guys are family. Why would I want to leave family?"
Yeah, and
You
on
know?
top of that, I mean, you're also gaining experience that you will definitely use
Yeah.
for your own thing, you
Right.
know?
And the thing is that they're not like the type of people that like they're willing to teach you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not like, "Oh, I'm not going to show you this cuz then you're going to want to like go somewhere else and
Be
take
the
it or
competition.
something like that." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead they sat me down and just like, yeah, they're like, "Okay, well, this is why I think like this." And they'll like break it down and I'm just like, "Oh, snap. Like I didn't even think about it that way." Like
Right.
that's dope. So, I'm learning. I've been here with them like I said 5 years and I swear to God, I learn something new every day.
Yeah. But if you're not doing Blueys, what is the one thing you're talking about?
I'm not doing anything. I hide at home when I'm like, don't, please. And or Lupita will drag me out, who's my neighbor and who also works here, and who's also a huge Minotti's lover.
Yeah.
Um, she'll be like, "Oh, let's go out," and
So
I'm just like,
no hobbies, no skills or any talents that you decompress
I
with.
mean, photography.
You're into photography.
I love photography. It's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Right now I've been super into film.
Nice.
I the I love that you can't go back and see what you got. You know what I mean? It's like a surprise. And then you get it back and you're like, "Oh shit." Like, dude, I just wasted a roll on that. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So there's that, but honestly, I'm just like um it's running a business it's exhausting,
Yes.
you know.
I bet.
So I try to be I'm very selective of whom I hang out with and who I talk to and like, you know, spend time with because those are valuable moments to me.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So to me one thing I used to or I still do, unfortunately we're not able to do it now is as I mentioned to you, was Disneyland. Disneyland it's a great getaway and it's just
The happiest place on earth.
it really is, man. Not after you leave, because you look at your bank statement and you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, so."
Like fuck.
You're like,
Feel like I paid for those fireworks.
literally. And you're like, "Oh my God, I'm not
Although we
gonna come."
recently discovered vignettes there. Have you ever had a vignette?
No.
It's like a donut, Mickey Mouse shape.
Oh yeah, by the New Orleans next
Yeah.
to the
And then please tell me
mansion
that
situation.
you have or you love Dole Whip.
Me?
Yes.
I mean, I'm not psycho about it. To me, there's no better churro. There's no better churro out here to me. Can't
Dude,
find
we
it.
have the spots now, and they're pretty close to us. And so now recently, we have discovered in West LA, there's a spot that sells Dole Whip. So now we're freaking obsessed with Dole Whip. We
What's
love
the
Dole Whip.
place? What's the place?
I don't even know the name. I just know how to get there. Yeah.
Oh, we're not even trying to tell people.
We're not
Oh,
gonna tell people. Yeah.
It's a secret spot. I'll tell y'all. Don't
It's
worry.
dope. It's really good. You know,
Check,
but
check
yeah.
the comments. I'm gonna write on the comments.
But yeah. So film and you develop and everything yourself?
No, I'm not that talented. I'd be going to
Costco.
no. Hell no. It is too crowded up in that joint. Like, no.
They
It
work
gives me
fast though.
anxiety.
The Photoshop plays. The photo plays fast, bro.
I don't go there, period.
Where do you go
It
then?
just gives me
'Cause
anxiety.
I don't even know where else to go than
There's
Costco.
this one mom and pop shop on Pico, which is really close to here, so it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's called Rose Photo or something like that.
And what's your camera choice when you
I have
shoot?
Pentax K1000.
Nice.
A
I
little
was
starter.
thinking you were using those disposable cameras or something.
Oh no. It's a legit. It's a legit one. It's real. No, I don't have it here. I lied.
That's awesome.
But I usually carry it around. There's that and just I don't know. Honestly,
Your novelas, you said?
yeah, of course, novelas.
And along those,
Chisme hour is very important as well.
yeah.
I think one of my favorite things to do is definitely chismear with Sabrina. She's really good at this, and she loves the chisme. It's like,
What's the
great.
chisme about though? I mean,
We can't tell you, fam.
Because I mean, with the vecina, it's all about like what the other neighbor is
Oh
doing.
no, we be talking about her body. Like, yo, did you see Lupita's crazy ass hair?
Lupita's listening though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she is. No,
should be attacking me next time she stopped by with Mike and getting coffee. Be like, what were you talking with Shirley about?
And I'd be like, nothing. Don't worry about it. You know, watch the podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. Listen, watch.
Yeah.
Subscribe, like. I'm just kidding.
Exactly. Comment, rate. You know.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
All of that.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. But what about the music type that you like to listen to?
All of it.
All of it.
All of it.
Rancheras, corridos.
Really? I mean, not much.
Juan Gabriel.
Oh, bro. I actually, when was it? Shoot. Wednesday. My husband and I made ceviche. And I was the one cutting the vegetables and stuff. And I had Juan Gabriel playing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just taking it. It took me back. Because that's all my mom used to listen to like Juan Gabriel, Rocío Dúrcal, and all of them hoochies. That's who she used to listen to all the time. So I don't know. It just feels nice. I was just like, I never thought I'd get there though. It's just so weird. I'm like, what a doña, what a doña life right now.
Yeah.
But it just you
didn't all about that whole Renegade and all the WAP and shit.
No, no. My cousin just posted a video of her. I think, man, how old is she? Like 2? Talking about going like this to the floor, and I was like, I was like, ooh, traviesa.
Different times,
like,
huh? Different times.
Like, whoa, no.
Yeah.
All bad.
That's crazy.
But no, Juan Gabriel is definitely one of the favorites for sure. Just takes you back.
Yeah.
It's just music is not the same anymore.
Yeah, I think it's a generation thing, right? Our previous generation will say that our music wasn't good.
But no, because I still I have a bajillions of nieces and nephews, and they're all listening to 90s hip hop.
Nice.
They're all listening to our stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
that only means that we taught them well.
But
obviously.
I feel like with our music, and I don't know, maybe this is just my generation speaking, right? Most of the music had a story, you know.
Yeah.
Versus even the music videos, when you watch them, it's like whole story.
Yeah, that's not even really a thing anymore.
Now it's all about like how much you can shake that booty and and you know and all that stuff. So
how wet it is and all this. Like, what you mean? What is wet?
Yeah,
like dude. That is not even right.
But you were talking about chopping up the veggies for the
ceviche.
Ceviche. What would you consider to be one of your most desirable meals that you enjoy the most?
Ceviche.
Ceviche?
Yeah, for sure.
That's the one.
Ceviche, aguachiles, anything that has to do with shrimp.
Mariscos. Yeah. The whole Sinaloa style coming
Sinaloa style for sure. You know, sometimes simple and sometimes, you know, we like to exaggerate. So
yeah.
But to me, simple is key.
Dope. What is the one meal you wish didn't exist?
Oof. I don't know. That's a really good question. I never thought about it. I'm not sure.
You're not picky with your meals?
Not really. Well, then again, I'm like such a creature of habit. Like it's either ceviche, Chinese food. That's my jam. Um, Ceviche, soup. I love soup. Like any kind of caldos, I'm down.
Yeah.
I love caldos. It's my mouth is watering just thinking
Nice.
about it.
All right, Shirley. You have a side hustle, you say, which is the Shirley Whirly brand. Is Whirly your last name, or where does Whirly come from?
No, so it's a nickname. My best friend at the time, her nephew, for some odd reason, he couldn't say Shirley, and somehow, some way, came up with Whirly. And this was maybe like, shoot, oh my god, I think it was like 15 years ago. Whoa,
Whirly has been
has been a thing
for 15
for 15 years. Yeah, that's wild. I didn't even think about that. Oh shoot. So it stuck, and I loved it, and I was just like, obviously the meaning behind it is so cool too. And I'm still rocking with it.
Yeah. And then your face sticker is the first thing you launched?
Yes.
Because now you're currently working on other products.
Yeah, so right now I'm working on, I had someone do my name, but like almost like kind of graffiti style. It's pretty cool. And so I'm doing tie-dye hoodies with the Whirly logo on it. It's pretty dope.
Nice. I mean, that whole Whirly is sort of your brand, right? Because
Yeah, it's everywhere.
On the Toughest Mujer, I saw the type of vehicle you were driving there. and for me, I mean, I grew up watching those cars, which is a bochito, Mexico. So I love it. And yours is what is it? A 70s?
It's a classic 71 Super Beetle. Yeah. That car is really special to me because it was my dream car, and I was 27 at the time when I purchased it, and I always said that I will have one. Like I didn't know how, when, or how, like, you know what I mean? And I saved, and then I purchased my dream car. And so it's called Papa Smurf because it's blue, and then the license plate say Whirly.
So yeah, I was leading to that. Yeah, because I saw the license plate. I was like, wait, when did you get this license plate? You know, because
like straight away.
Yeah.
As soon as I got that thing, I was just like.
So it is registered as Whirly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just thinking it was just sort of like I don't know.
No, it's legit.
A souvenir or something that you have.
No, that's literally Whirly. That's our license.
You guys see Papa Smurf on the west side, and it says Whirly.
Oh, that's your girl.
Yeah,
that is me.
Don't hit it. Just
please don't.
Honk.
Please don't. From a distance.
I mean, that car will probably destroy your car.
For real, all metal.
That metal bumper.
All metal.
Definitely don't want to mess with that.
So yeah, that's my baby. Yeah, I love that.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, it was sort of like a goal you had to purchase a car like that, right? Your dream car.
For sure.
And recently, do you have any other goals you want to achieve?
I haven't really thought about it. There's too much going on in the world. It's just like you almost feel uncertain.
Yeah.
And to the point where you kind of don't want to set those goals because you just don't know what's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So for me, I'm just focusing on what it is, like on Blueys, and I'm focusing on my marriage and those around me. You know what I mean? Like I just want to be happy. That's my goal. I want to be happy, and I am happy.
Yeah, I mean that's also part of your success. You know, being happy where you're at and happy
Yeah,
where
for sure.
of everything you have accomplished. And but with all this going on, with COVID and stuff, how have you dealt with it running a shift here at Blueys?
I mean, at first it was scary. I'm not gonna front, but um, I try to keep it cool and not try to show any kind of fear because I was fearing for my job. You
Yeah.
know, I was just like that. I was hearing a lot of people getting a pay cut or losing their jobs and things like that. So the only positive thing that this COVID thing that's brought to me anyway is I learned how to run a kitchen. So that was pretty cool. So I can literally now say that I have worked every single station in this restaurant. And
Amazing.
that's pretty dope to me.
Yeah. I mean, that alone is something to be respected for,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I now fully understand how hard it is. Like,
I bet.
it made me understand and appreciate our cooks a lot more because I was just like, well,
Not
this
easy,
is, nah, it really isn't.
Especially when the flames are going.
Yeah, I
and the
burned myself
temperature
a couple of
rising and
times.
stuff like that. Yeah. Dude.
I burned myself a couple of times, but yeah, you live and you learn. But
Right.
man, those 2 months that I was in the kitchen, I was just like, wow, this is a lot of work.
And now wearing a mask back there and stuff.
But I can't. It's crazy.
Well, Shirley, can't wait for the next merch you come out with.
Follow me, Shirley.
Gotta purchase one of those hoodies, tie-dye hoodies. Not
The-
for me, but for the wife.
Yeah. Happy wife, happy life.
Happy life. That's the key. Key to a happy marriage. Yep.
Yeah, you don't sound very happy about it.
And you're never right about anything you ever say. Yeah.
Bro, she's right there. Don't look at her. Don't look at her. Don't make eye contact. Don't make eye contact.
All right, Shirley. Well, I really appreciate the time you took to be here with me
Thanks
on
for
this
having
podcast.
Me. Appreciate you.
Fun to get to know you a little bit more.
Yeah, same, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't realize we had the same struggles.
Crazy, It's a small world. We didn't even know you were friends with one of my wife's friends.
That's true until today.
Yeah, till today. Can you believe that?
It is a small world. I definitely appreciate your time and thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I know it's actually my first ever. So this is so dope. So I'm glad I was able to do it.
Before we sign off, tell the world where can they find you, Shirley?
I'm at Blueys Kitchen 24/7. Please come visit. I promise we have really good food, really good coffee, and then the staff behind the counter are fucking dope. Or you can find me on social media, Shirley Worley. Follow.
What about for merch? Where can they?
Oh, for merch, yeah, Shirley Worley. Go to my Instagram, and I'm on there.
Amazing. Well, until next time, Shirley. You gotta do a second episode of the podcast.
Yeah, I feel like there's just so much to talk about. But I appreciate you.
Appreciate you too.
So thanks for having me.
Peace, guys.